Towns, traders, and craftsmen. India has a long history of urbanization during the medieval period, from the 13th to the 16th centuries. Popularly known as the Sultanate period, India was prosperous despite of the frequent political upheavals. Many foreign travelers have left behind several accounts. Though a large number of people lived in villages, a notable feature of this period was the growth of towns in various parts of the country. According to Ibn Battuta, a traveler from Morocco who visited India in 14th century during the Sultanate period, the important centers of trade were Delhi, Lahore, Ahmedabad, Sonargaon, and Jaunpur. This development was the result of the political and economic policies followed by the Turkish and Mughal rulers. Urbanization in Mughal Empire. During the 250 years of Mughal rule, from the 16th to 18th centuries, both long-distance trade with India and with other Asian and European countries flourished. The demand for Indian goods, such as textiles abroad, led to an enormous expansion of textile manufacturing. Towns grew into trade and industrial centers as rulers like Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb supported trading activities and the merchant classes. They removed all obstacles for smooth movement of goods and people. All these brought increased wealth to the urban centers and led to the growth of city population. This in turn led to the general prosperity. During the Mughal rule, the urbanization of India flourished greatly. This period witnessed the growth of stable center and establishment of trade and commerce. There were 120 large cities and 3,000 towns in Akbar's empire. The major urban centers of Mughal period were Delhi, Agra, Lahore, Multan, and Srinagar in the north, Ahmedabad, Surat, Ujjain, and Patan in the west, Sonargaon, Hooghly, Patliputra, Chittagong, and Murshidabad in the east. Administrative centers. There were towns like Delhi, Agra, Lahore, Hyderabad, and Vijayanagar, which were the capitals and administrative centers, as well as manufacturing centers. New towns were established by sultans of Delhi and the rulers of provincial dynasties. Muhammad bin Tughlaq built his capital at Daulatabad. Akbar built Fatehpur Sikri near Agra. The capitals of regional centers like Ahmedabad in Gujarat was built by Sultan Ahmad Shah I. Port cities. India had developed trade and commerce on a large scale in the medieval period. It was surrounded by water bodies on three sides, so various port cities developed both on the eastern and western coasts of India. Visakhapatnam, Sonargaon near Dhaka, and Machilipatnam on the eastern coast, Mangalore in Malabar, Bhatkal in Karnataka, Khambat, Cambay, and Surat in Gujarat, Goa and Cochin on the western coast had become very important seaports due to the growing trade with many European and African countries. Trading towns. All the capital towns, administrative centers, and port towns were the hub of trading activities. The growth of markets and well-maintained roads encouraged the trade between various parts of the country. Some of the important trading towns were Multan, Lahore, Delhi, Agra, Fatehpur Sikri, Patna, Surat, Balasara, Ahmedabad, Machilipatnam, Ahmednagar, Champaran, Bughanpur, Goa, Daman, Diu, etc. Almost all foreign travelers like Marco Polo, Ibn Battuta, Idrisi, etc. confirmed that Indian merchants were busy in land and sea route trade. A great variety of Indian goods such as cloth, cotton, woolen and silken, and spices, pepper, cinnamon, ginger, etc. had a great demand all over the world. Pilgrimage centers. India is a country where several religions are practiced. besides the dominant Hindu religion, and hence several pilgrimage centers sprang up. The major Hindu pilgrimage centers include Haridwar, Badrinath, Kedarnath, Varanasi, Kashi in olden time, Prayag, modern-day Allahabad, Kanchi, Sringeri, Dwarka, Puri, etc., Bodh Gaya, Sarnath, Kushinagar, etc. of Buddhism, Shravan Belagola of Jainism, Amritsar, Nankana Sahib and Patna Sahib of Sikhism are major religious centers. Founded towns. In the Mughal period, a number of new settlements were made. Usually a Jagirdar or a strong and well-known person of an area laid the foundations with the support of the emperor. This is how, with Shah Jahan's support, two Afghan Jagirdar brothers founded the town of Shahjahanpur in Uttar Pradesh. Many such towns like Muradabad, Farrukhabad, and Ghaziabad were founded. People were sometimes forcibly transferred from some areas. Many people moved from villages for better opportunities in new towns. People were often given many concessions to settle in towns. Fatehpur Sikri was built to pay respects to Salim Chishti, who had blessed Emperor Akbar and lived in the village Sikri. It was also to celebrate Akbar's victory in Gujarat. So it is called Fateh. Hampi, Machilipatnam and Surat. Hampi. Hampi, earlier known as Vijayanagar, lie on the banks of the Tungabhadra River, Karnataka state, which served as the capital of the Vijayanagar Empire. The foundation of Hampi was laid by two local rulers, Harihar and Bukkaraya. Krishnadevaraya of Tuluva dynasty was the greatest ruler of this empire. The site is of interest for its architectural remains, like military fortifications and defensive gateways constructed of massive granite slabs, palace structures, courtly pavilions, and elephant stables, many with Sultanate-style arches, domes, and vaults, walled temple complexes with shrines, columned halls or mandapas, and towered gateways or gopurams, and a host of lesser religious structures, and mosques and tombs for the Muslim inhabitants of the city. These features were built of stones, brick, plaster, and wood, but only the masonry portions survived. Some of these have been uncovered in recent excavations. They are distributed over an area of about 25 square kilometer, divided into discrete zones. Walled urban core, in which the bulk of the city's population was located. A smaller walled royal center inside the urban core, containing the principal ceremonial and residential structures associated with the Vijayanagar kings. Sacred centers on the southern banks of the Tungabhadra river, including the Virupaksha temple at Hampi and the ruins of other religious complexes like Hazar Rama temple, Lotus Mahal, the 9 feet tall single stone statue of Ganesha, and an irrigated valley wedged between the granite ridges separating the royal sacred centers. Vijayanagar experienced great network of trading with several places such as Persia, Arabia, Africa, Burma, China, etc. The city of Hampi was a growing marketplace for both imports and exports. Machilipatnam, now Machilipatnam, a port town. Machilipatnam, earlier known as Machilipatnam, is located in Andhra Pradesh, 150 km north of Chennai, at the mouth of the Krishna River. It was first a Dutch settlement, surrendering ownership to the English in 1620 AD. It was a major base of operations with strong fortifications. It is a famous port city on the Coromandel coast of India. It is said that Machilipatnam was founded by the trading Arabs in the 14th century, on their way from the Red Sea to southern India. It became a flourishing seaport during the time of Satavahanas. It was under the rule of Hindu king Varangal until it was captured by the Muslim ruler of Odisha in 1478 and by the Vijayanagar rulers in 1589. Machilipatnam was the British East India Company's first trading port on Coromandel coast. The main items of export were textiles, woven carpets, fish and grains. This port city is also known for its kalamkari textiles and printings created by using vegetable dyes. This kalamkari technique got its name from the kalam, the pen-like tool used to draw designs on the cloth, and kari means work. Surat, a trading town. The port city of Surat is situated in the state of Gujarat and is an administrative headquarter of Surat district. It was founded by a Hindu Brahmin called Gopi in 1516. The city was attacked by several people such as Muslim rulers, Portuguese, Mughals and Marathas from the 12th to the 15th centuries. After Bengal and Gujarat, Surat came under control of Mughals in 1573. Cambay was the major port of Gujarat till the 15th century. However, Surat turned out to be the main seaport by the end of the 15th century. It emerged as one of the most prominent commercial cities of India in 15th century. Many merchants traded with other countries from Surat. The main things that were exported from Surat were cotton textiles, especially those with gold lace borders called zari, had become quite famous and had been a great demand all over the world. By the 16th century, Portuguese controlled trade from Surat. In 1612, the British defeated them. The British East India Company established its first Indian factory at Surat in 1613. The importance of Surat started declining after 1668, as Bombay replaced Surat as the seat of presidency of the British East India Company. Surat has recently emerged as a great center of diamond cutting and polishing. Traders and craftsmen. Both the traders and craftsmen have a great part to play in the economic activities of the country. Indian craftsmen were perfect masters of producing articles of different kinds, and that too of good quality. They were perfect masters in the field of textile industry, and their cotton, woolen and silk cloth had no comparison in the world. Indian craftsmen had great mastery over the manufacture of both leather and leather goods. Marco Polo had written, "Beautiful mats in red and blue leather, and inlaid with figures of birds and beasts, and skillfully embroidered with gold and silver wires, were quite exquisite." The art of making metals was pursued with great success during their period, 800 to 1707. Both the blacksmiths and goldsmiths produced the most fascinating quality. The Indian traders took these manufactured goods, as well as agricultural goods like spices, to distant lands and helped India to become rich. Both the Indian craftsmen and traders had organized themselves into their own guilds, which not only helped them in times of need, but also helped them to produce different articles of good quality, so that no country could match them in the field of internal and external trade.